Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today is a special day for me as I embark on a new artistic journey. I'm thrilled that you have joined me. For artists, both seasoned and aspiring, a new sketchbook signifies a fresh beginning. A blank canvas, eagerly waiting the touch of a pen, pencil, or brush. Get ready for a really fun, simple, and really beautiful painting of a beach that I'll be painting using gouache colors. Starting with the sky, I have started with mixing Persian blue with titanium white. So I'm using this mixture to paint the really top part of the sky. I'll be painting the sky in two parts. Mainly, first I'll be laying down the base color, followed by the clouds that you see in the reference image here. For the bottom portion of the sky, I have used slightly lighter shade of the same color by mixing more white to it. At this point, I was really wondering if I could have used a lighter shade to paint the sky, but you will see that it did turn out good after I added the clouds to it. Now for the ocean, I'm using a mix of Persian blue and white and a little bit of cerulean blue to the mixture to give it more of a greenish effect. So the idea here is to start with a very darker shade of blue followed by a layer of lighter, and as the sea approaches close to us it's actually in its lightest shade of blue. So for this part I have used cerulean blue with white and then added more of white as it approached closer to the viewer. To paint the sand I have used white mixed with a little bit of burnt umber or dark brown color. Again, the further the sand is, it's darker in shade, and as it approaches closer, it gets lighter in its shade. So you can make the shade lighter either by adding more white to it, or you can just water it down to the value desired. Once the layer in the sky is completely dried, I'm going to paint the clouds. Now to paint the clouds, I have taken pure white on the brush and I haven't added any water to it. It's just the paint, and I'm uh, you know trying to tap it on the paper so that it forms the cloud. Something that you really need to be careful while doing this is to ensure that the first layer of blue color has completely dried out, or else you will find it getting muddy and the clouds won't appear as prominent. To paint the shadow areas in the cloud, I have mixed white to a really tiny bit of black to have a pale gray color, and I am just painting over the areas where I see that there is shadow in the clouds. So to paint the waves in the ocean, I have just taken white color on the brush on a fine tip or a narrow brush and started dabbing to make these frothy kind of appearing waves. I also added a few streaks of the same white color in the background so that it appears that the waves are viewed from a distance. So, in order to paint the rock and the grasses in the foreground, I've started by creating a mixture of black mixed with a slight yellow so that it is more towards darker green. And you will see that I have started with the shadow layer first for both the grass patch as well as the rock. So at this point, I am just blocking out the basic shape of the rock and the greenery around, but later we'll be adding more highlights by mixing lighter shades to the same mixture. I'm painting a few leaves that I can see in the reference image by mixing dark green and adding a bit of black to it. Here I've started adding the highlights by adding more white to the mixture of green and yellow. Although it's not captured really well in the camera, but once it dries you will really be able to see the difference that is created by the light and the shadows. Towards the end, I also added a few more leaves and more highlights to the grass in the foreground. With gouache colors, you will always have to keep in mind that the lighter shades dry really dark, so the details that I've made on the rock and the grass will be visible after once it's completely dried. I also did a little bit of highlighting to my clouds by just dabbing the white color to the areas where I felt it was slightly dull. And that's a painting, guys. It was really fun painting this, and I have to say that it's not the most easiest one to make, but you have to trust the process and just try modifying a few areas if you wish to later. I'm so happy that the first page of my sketchbook turned out really well, and thank you so much. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos on landscape.